Hello and welcome back to our online course, Building Cost Estimation Simplified. In today's video lesson, we will be looking at method of measurement in various construction activities. The lesson objectives for today's lesson is, in this video lesson, we will learn about the methods of measurement for earthwork and concrete as per IS 1200 and CPWD specifications. Earthwork. We know that before we start the construction of any project, we mostly start the work with the earthwork, the groundwork. And for this, we might have to clear the site. We might have to get a level ground before we commence our construction activities. Or we might have to excavate the ground for laying the foundation. And all these come under the activity of earthwork. We will be looking at how we do the measurement of earthwork. For the purpose of earthwork measurements and work related to earthwork, the Indian standard codes that are available to us are given below. This has been taken from the CPWD specification 2009. We will be particularly focusing on IS 1200 Part 1. So when we look at the items of earthwork, we have main items like excavation, backfilling, disposal of surplus earth, and usually it is measured in cubic meters unless otherwise specified. Earthwork in excavation and earthwork in filling are usually taken out under separate items. When we are having foundation trenches, they are dug to the exact dimension or the width of the foundation with vertical sides. So the earthwork in excavation in foundations is calculated by multiplying the dimensions of the trench length into the breadth and into the depth of the excavation. So we have the method of measurement. Earthwork in excavation is equal to trench length into breadth into height. When we measure the dimensions, we measure it to the decimal points as given on the screen. If it is length, we measure it to 1 decimal point accuracy. So if it is about 5.67 in length, and then so we will take it as 5.7, rounding it off to the next decimal. And if it is area, then we go for 2 decimal points. And if it is volume, then we go for 3 decimal points. So this is how the dimensions are measured. Now earthwork in plinth filling is calculated by finding out the length and breadth of the earth filling that is required for filling the plinth. Usually it is the same as the internal dimensions of the room if there is no offset in plinth wall. And if there is sand filling done in the plinth, then that item is taken separately. Usually, excavated earth used in trench filling and plinth filling are not paid for separately, but may also be included under a separate item called return fill and ram or backfill, and this is paid at a lesser rate. So how do we measure the work done under different conditions of earthwork? So work in or under water and work in or under foul positions are measured separately. So this is taken from the IS 1200, and even the excavated materials are also classified. Now what do we mean by work under foul position? So there could be times when there could be interference of sewage lines or sewerage or any such activities. This is referred to as foul positions, and this is usually decided by the engineer in charge for the purpose of determination of which category or condition does the earthwork come under. So let's look at how excavated materials are classified. One is soft or loose soil, hard or dense soil, mud, soft or disintegrated rock, hard rock that requires blasting, hard rock where blasting is prohibited and excavation is done by chiseling, etc. So we see that based on the type of soil and we have different classifications, and these are some of the classifications of earthwork under IS 1200. The unit of measurement is cubic meters unless specified. Usually it is measured in unit of the UOM is cubic meters. And there are different types of excavation when it comes to earthwork. So there is surface dressing, surface excavation, rough excavation, excavation over area, excavation in trenches for foundations or drains, excavation in trenches for pipes, cables, etc. And we see that the units of measurement are different. For the first two, surface dressing and surface excavation, the units of measurement are in square meters. And for the rest, we see it's usually in cubic meters that we measure the activity or the item. Earthwork classification under CPWD specification is all kinds of soil, ordinary rock, and hard rock where blasting is prohibited. So this is a different classification under the CPWD specification. Now let's look at the kind of excavation or the surface, the kind of earthwork that we come across. And so first we look at surface dressing. So we know that when we are doing the excavation on the construction site, there would be some activities that would require the leveling of ground, clearing the ground of shrubs and other stones or woody vegetation, etc. So in order to have a level ground, etc., we need to do the surface dressing first. So the surface dressing is referred to the trimming of natural ground, excavated surface, and filled-up area to remove vegetation and or small inequalities not exceeding 150 mm deep. So here the key factor is the depth to which we do the dressing. So and we see that it is 150 mm deep. So either 15 centimeters. So any leveling or clearing the undulation of the site up to 15 centimeters is referred to as surface dressing, and this work is measured in square meters. Next we come to rough excavation. Rough excavation is again defined as not requiring dressing of sides and bottom, and reduction to exact levels is described as rough excavation. So this is not an activity of excavating the foundation or preparing the trench for laying the PCC. That doesn't come under this. So this is what differentiates it from the surface dressing is that in surface dressing we only look at a depth of 15 centimeters or 150 mm deep, and in rough excavation we go up to 300 mm depth, which is 30 centimeters. So anything that comes up to 30 centimeters that comes under rough excavation, and it is measured in cubic meters. Now what is surface excavation? Surface excavation exceeding 1.5 meter in width as well as 10 square meters on plan, but not exceeding 300 mm in depth. So again we have the depth as a criterion. We go up to 30 centimeters depth, and the area that would be about 10 square meter on plan, and the width would be would not be at any point. The one dimension would not be more than 1.5 meters, and this is also measured in square meters. Now, excavation over area is the excavation exceeding 1.5 meters in width as well as 10 square meters on plan and exceeding 300 mm in depth. So this is different from surface excavation where the depth is beyond 30 centimeters or 300 mm, but the width of it is exceeding 1.5 meters, and also the area of the not excluding the depth is exceeding 10 square meter on plan, and this is measured in cubic meters. So excavation in trenches for foundation, this is measured in cubic meters. So for this again, the measurement is based on length, breadth into height. Wherever the depth is exceeding 1 meters, an allowance of 50 mm per meter depth for each side of the trench shall be added to the specified width. So for the excavation dimension, we can add 50 mm for each meter or each meter depth on each side of the trench. So the trench dimensions, to the trench dimension, we can add 50 mm each on each side of the trench, and it is for each meter. So as the depth goes down, it increases. For up to 1 meters, it would be 50 mm. It would be 50 mm, and for more than 1 meter, up to next 1 meter, it would be another 50 mm. The return fill and ram measured in cubic meters. So here the criterion is that the spreading is in layers, not excluding 200 mm in depth. So for every 20 centimeters in depth, the return fill and ram is calculated in layers of 20 centimeters, and it is measured in cubic meters. The spreading is measured in, spreading in layers is in 20 centimeters depth each, and it is measured in cubic meters. So filling under floors, we know that after we lay the foundation, the footing, and then we have the plinth ready, and then before laying the before starting the substructure and to lay the floor, etc., we need to fill the area under floor. And again, we usually use soil. We use earthwork to fill it, and this is spread in layers. Again, these layers are of 20 centimeters in depth or 200 mm in depth, and then the way we do it is we do it in layers. We first have a layer of earth for about 20 centimeters, and then we water it, ram it, and then level it, and this is continued in layers of 20 centimeters each up to the requisite depth. So the other aspect that we have to look into is removing trees and hedges on the site. So during the rough excavation, we can remove small shrubs and little vegetation in that manner. So anything that is less than a girth of 300 mm, 30 centimeters, is measured in square meters, and it can be cleared without additional permission or anything. So what do we mean by the girth? Girth is the circumference of any tree or plant measured. The circumference of the stem of the plant. That's how we measure the dimension of the vegetation, and it is measured from the ground level to a height of 1 meter. The measurement is taken at a height of 1 meter, and so when we have to cut down trees of girth greater than 300 mm, that is more than 30 centimeters and up to 1000 mm, it shall be enumerated as one item. But also this would require special permissions, and so these have to be taken into consideration when we do the clearing of the site. Next, we look at the measurement of concrete work in building. The concrete is, for the purpose of our reference, we will be looking at IS 1200 Part 2. We know that the concrete work is also measured with dimensions measured to the nearest centimeters. The exception is the thickness of slab, which is measured to nearest 0.5 centimeters. We look at 1 decimal point accuracy for measurement of thickness of slab. And when it comes to area, the nearest 0.01 square meter is taken, and for cubic contents, nearest to 0.01 cubic meter is taken. Usually the concrete work is measured in cubic meters by multiplying the length into breadth into thickness, and unless otherwise it is specified. So usually the length and breadth of foundation concrete, the concrete that we use in foundation, is usually the same as for excavation, only the depth or the thickness varies. So for the concrete work, the works under the following conditions are measured separately: work in or under water, work in liquid mud, work in under foul position. For concrete work, the works are under the following conditions are measured separately: work in or under water, work in liquid mud, work under foul position, work under tides, and work in snow. The concrete, for the measurement of concrete, the measurement is done in stages. Below ground or datum level and above ground or datum level are measured separately. Also, the work in plain, reinforced and pre-stressed concrete shall be measured separately. So what about the formwork that is part of concrete? When we have to lay concrete, we have a formwork that is to be in place. So the formwork is measured as a separate item. That's also the case with special finishes. Special finishes of concrete are measured as a separate item. However, fair finishing of exposed surfaces of concrete, including hacking or roughening the surface of concrete, shall be included in the description and is part of the item concreting. So it could be about having a surface dressed, the concrete surface dressed for some other activity, some cladding or anything. And in that case, this finishing is, the specification is part of the concrete specification. But if there are special finishes, those are measured separately. We must also remember that the reinforcement volume is also measured separately and is not part of the concrete work. And if there is special concrete, then it is a separate item. For example, cooled, heated, cellular, expansive, heat resisting concrete, etc. These are considered as separate items. So one important aspect of concrete is how do we make the deductions. So some of the activities which we have no deductions for are, or some of the building, some of the parts of the building that we don't deduct from the concrete are end of beams or girders, etc. up to 500 centimeters square in cross-sectional area. So anything less than 500 centimeters square cross-section area, the deductions are not accounted for from the concrete volume or the concrete quantity that we measure. And for openings up to 0.1 meter square area, cross-sectional area, even deductions are not considered. They're not considered for deductions from concrete. The volume of reinforcement is not deducted from the concrete. The volume of pipes and conduits, etc., not exceeding 100 centimeters square each in cross-sectional area. Those are also not deducted. Small voids up to 40 centimeters square area in cross-section is also not deducted. Moles, grooves, etc. up to 10 centimeter in width or 15 centimeter in girth. These are also not deducted from the concrete calculation. So if there are small grooves or mold or grooves which are part of the concrete work and it is less than 10 centimeter in width and or 15 centimeter in girth, that would be the circumference, then those are not deducted from the concrete volume. So let's summarize what we have learned today in today's lesson. We learned about the method of measurement of earthwork and concrete as per IS 1200 and CPWD specifications. We looked at the various classifications or various classifications as per the specification in which earthwork is measured and also how concrete is measured. We also looked at what is included in the items, what are deducted from the items, and so this is something that we learned in today's video lesson.